Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Sofia, nice to meet you. And today I'm finally filming my anticipated book releases of 2022. This is one of my favorite videos to film because I spent hours and hours looking into the books that are gonna be published in 2022 and I try to see which ones are my favorite. Of course, not all of them are in here. I will link down below my Goodreads 2022 release list. The books in this list are from the first half of the year. I will do another video for the second half. Without further ado, let's get started, and I hope you find some books that you're gonna want to read this year. The first book is Letter of the Moon Goddess by Lynn. Fantasy retelling is inspired by the Chinese legend of the Moon Goddess, which is something I'm really interested about, and I think a lot of media have been inspired by this myth this past year. We follow this girl who has been living in the moon and has been isolated for the rest of the world, but what she doesn't know is that she is being hidden there because the emperor wants to take revenge on her because her mother stole his immortality elixir. The cover is gorgeous and it sounds like it's gonna be really magical writing and beautiful atmospheric book, and that's something that I adore. The next one is Anatomy, a love story by Schwartz. I was first intrigued by the cover, but when I read the synopsis of the book, I was so drawn into it. This historical fiction gothic tale is set in Edinburgh 1817, following Hazel, who, contrary to the norm back in the 80,000, doesn't want to get married, she wants to be a surgeon. This feat seems impossible as she is denied to study because of her gender, but when she befriends Jack, who dedicates his time to dig up graves and sells the dead bodies to universities, she sees an opportunity to make her dreams come true. I love that a lot of YA authors are starting to write more of gothic retellings now that dark romance and dark stories are becoming a thing, and it just sounds something that I will really enjoy, and I hope it's well written because I also heard is inspired by Frankenstein, but I'm not too sure. These Deadly Games by TinyOwnUniverse. I'm gonna read the synopsis for this one because it's what drove me into wanting to read this book. Let's play a game. You have 24 hours to win. If you break my rules, she dies. If you call the police, she dies. If you tell your parents or anyone else, she dies. Are you ready? In this story, Crystal receives this really weird message with a photo or a video of her sister who has been kidnapped. She is asked to do a series of tasks for her to save her sister, but at the beginning the tasks are okay, really simple, but when the app starts asking her to kill her friends one by one, she has to choose what to do. My hope for YA thrillers goes down every year. I never give up my hope. I still read YA thrillers even if they disappoint me every time, but this one sounds like a movie plot I will enjoy, so I hope a book format thing it would be good. The next one is You Truly Assume by Laila Sabreen. After a terrorist attack rocks the country and the anti-Islamic and Islamophobia sentiment starts growing in the city, these three black Muslim girls decide to create this online blog to comfort themselves. But when this blog goes viral and they start getting a lot of love but also a lot of hate comments, they have to decide if they shut down this blog or they continue it on. Like, contemporary YA is something I don't read often, but if it's a good book that's gonna make me feel something, I'm in. I also want to read more of the reviews of this one because I haven't seen this book really around. The next one is my most anticipated release of the whole year. The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie. First, the cover is gorgeous, but second, Miyazaki's Spirited Away inspired. It's inspired by the Ghibli movie Spirited Away. I'm a huge Ghibli fan, and Howl's Moving Castle and Spirited Away are some of my favorite movies ever, and the fact that this is inspired by it and it's about a girl that has to cross to the spirit world, which, if you don't know, humans cannot spend a long time in the spirit world, and she has to find this sea god with the help of this guy. I want magical writing, I want a magical story. The cover is already gorgeous and I already pre-ordered it. That's how excited I am. The next one is The Paris Apartment by Foley. The main reason this book is on the list is because I read The Guest List, her other book, this last year, and my phone just fell off. I really wasn't impressed by it. This one has a pretty similar setting where this girl moves to this Paris apartment and something happens inside and every single neighbor is a suspect and everyone has secrets. I really want to give her another chance because she's a really big thriller author and I want to see what the hype is about. The next one is Only Monsters by Vanessa, Lynn. This book is based on the hunter-prey trope where our main girl is unaware that her whole family and herself, they are monsters basically, and her summer crush Nick is a legendary hunter of these monsters. And I love this quote that it's quoting in the synopsis, what it says: she will have to embrace her own monstrousness if she is to save herself and her family, because in this story she is not the hero. We love an anti-hero moment. One of the main reasons why this made it to the list is because it's pretty similar to the Savage song. I'm not comparing the books, I'm just saying it sounds similar and that's why my interest is up here. The next one, talking about B. Schwab, is Gallant by B.E. Schwab. And I know I really like to go into my B.E. Schwab books without knowing anything about the plot. I knew about what Addie LaRue was about and I haven't read that one, so I'm not taking chances with Gallant. I don't think Victoria Schwab has ever written YA fantasy horror, and it does sound like it's gonna, because of the cover basically, this is my assumption. It's about this house where two worlds connect, like dark and light, and you can move from one to the other. I don't know. The next one is All My Rage by Sabaa Tahir, and I'm really interested into what Sabaa Tahir is gonna do with the YA contemporary genre. I'm gonna read what I wrote for the synopsis. The story is based on this Pakistani family that immigrates to the US to start a business and how the new generation has to deal with this model owned by the family. I'm really interested in the family aspect of the book. That's something I always enjoy reading, and also how every generation is gonna have to learn and understand the struggles that the other generation has to go through. A Far Wilder Magic by Allison, Saft. This book is here for the cover. It's gorgeous. The illustration just hold my attention so much. And the story follows Margaret, who is a sharpshooter, and she needs to hunt this mythical creature to make her dreams come true. But to join the hunt, she needs the help of an alchemist. And when she meets Wes, who have been kicked out of every alchemy apprenticeship, I don't know how to pronounce that word, every alchemy apprenticeship that he has landed, is her only chance to join the hunt. The next one is The War of Two Queens by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and this is the fourth book in the From Blood and Ash series. It's coming out in March, which I thought it was coming out in October, but not. It's coming sooner. I read the From Blood and Ash series last year and I enjoyed it, so. The next one is The City of Dusk by Tara Sim. In the world of this adult fantasy, there are 4 realms: life, death, light, and darkness, and they all come together into this city called the City of Dusk. Each realm has a higher hair. Each realm, oh my god, these words. Each realm has a higher hair. Okay, each realm has a hair here. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Here. And because the gods no longer favor the city, they have to form an alliance. We have a necromancer, an elementalist, shadow wielding, and a soldier who cannot reach the light, which it sounds like the Atlas 6 characters, and I'm here for a group setting where they have to work together. I love that. Fantasy, adults, LGBT plus, queer, and lesbian representation. You know I love my Sapphic books. I love my Sapphic books. The next one is Sofi and the Bone Song by Adrienne, Tooley. This book is here because the main character is called Sofi. My name is Sofia with an F too, so I just knew I had to read it. And then I read the synopsis and it's about music, which I haven't read a lot of books about music, but the ones I've read, they are my favorite, like the Savage song. I'm excited about it also because it's a Sapphic romance. I'm also interested because it's a Sapphic book and also a YA fantasy. The next one is Queen of the Tiles by Hannah Al-Khaf. It's said to be like the Queen's Gambit, which is one of my favorite series. TV shows. But this one, instead of chess, is about a Scrabble. And our main character gets into this Scrabble competition because she's really good at Scrabble. However, her best friend dies in this competition, so she has to also discover who did it, see what happened. So it's a YA mystery thriller. Next one is Café con Lichi. The cover caught my attention. I don't know anything. I know it's male to male romance. Look at the cover. And I don't want to know nothing. I just want to read it. Male to male romance, which I don't read often because I like sapphic books better, but the cover deserves me reading it. YA romances, please be good to me this year and don't disappoint me. Also, the next one is also here because of the cover. I don't know what it's about and I don't want to know what it's about, but it sounds perfect for October, and it's The Witchery by S. Isabel. It's a YA fantasy with witches and LGBTQ+. These last two books are all like LGBTQ. As I said, probably magic, witches. The girls on the cover look stunning, and this book is just here for the cover. The last one is The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Burns, and this is the third book in the Inheritance Games trilogy thingy. I hope it's a trilogy. As you know, I read the Inheritance Games last year, which is a YA thriller thingy about this girl who inherits this old man's mansion and fortune, but she has never met him, and she has to go into this house full of riddles to know what is happening, basically. I read the first two books last year and I'm just looking forward to a third one and seeing what happens at the end, because the plot twists on the second books were really good. And those are all the books that I've recommended today to you. Let me know in the comments if you're looking forward to any book releases of 2022. I would love to add a few more into my list. And also, if you made it this far on the video, let's comment the sparkle emojis. Random sparkle emoji. If you want more book recommendations and reading vlogs, don't forget to subscribe. I also have a Goodreads if you want to keep updated with my reads, and I post daily on my Bookstagram as well. As always, I love all of you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!